Hey guys, I'm Luke.
And I'm Dolly, and today we are going to share with you all how much we spent on the road our first month in our RV. But before we do, Luke's going to share a little bit with you about how he got started.
We decided to take this adventure back in September of last year. Our lease was coming up in February, and we decided that we didn't want to stay in South Florida, but we didn't know where we wanted to go. So we'd kind of kicked around this idea before and figured now was just as good a time as any to give it a shot. So we had about 3 or 4 months to work on it, spent a lot of time and money on that. If you guys want a budget video on that, good luck, because I don't even know how much we spent.
Let us know and we will try to come up with the numbers for you, but it was a lot.
Yeah. I worked on a spreadsheet and we tracked every penny that we spent for a whole month.
Every single day.
We broke down to a few categories to make it a little more simple.
We'll go ahead and go through each category with you all and tell you how much we spent and then talk a little bit about it. So gas was our big money thing. We spent $828.20 in gas our first month on the road, which sounds crazy, but we averaged about $100 a day and we traveled a lot. So I think that was our biggest expense.
Yeah, $100 a day that we were traveling.
Yeah, we were traveling, yeah.
Next was groceries, which everyone's got to eat. That came in fairly reasonable, I think, for us at $412.81.
Yeah, and you already have a little bit of groceries to start with, so that was nice, but I don't know, I'd say that's pretty good on groceries. That's a little bit less than we would spend at the condo. RV maintenance. So this came out to $570.58. Obviously, this is going to change month to month. The reason why we spent so much is because Luke worked on the brakes, but in our previous videos, if you watch them, you see that we ordered brakes from Rock Auto. Bad decision. They were warped, and he had to redo the brakes while we were on the road. So bless his heart. Thank you so much for being an awesome mechanic and knowing how to do that stuff. But yeah.
So, I mean, that was the cost of both brake rotors, but I was able to get a refund from Rock Auto, but I didn't add that into this whole deal. So, I mean, we kind of just treat it as like, well, that's an expense,
Right. And then also we spent, I think it was about $90. We bought
a new propane and O2 sensor. So, yeah, that was another big one, but really, we expect that to be a lot less in the future, hopefully.
Yeah. And then the other 70 was for our water heater. We had to get that fixed up, so.
Yeah, nothing big.
Nothing big.
Yeah. After that, it's propane. So we left South Florida in the heart of winter.
Because we're crazy.
Yeah. So we got to experience all 4 seasons driving out of Florida. By the time we got to Kentucky, it was cold. Like 20 degrees cold, and it snowed, and we spent 2 weeks in Kentucky, and so a lot of our propane was used there, and then just in general. And the diesel heater helps, but propane is still a primary source of heat.
Yeah, and we use it for our fridge. So
we spent $217.43 just on propane, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, being that we spent a lot of time in below freezing weather, I don't know, I just see that as, well, that's what we had to spend.
Yeah, necessary evil.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is again something that's going to change for us. In the winter month or in the summer months, we're not going to have to use as much propane. It's just going to be the refrigerator, and we can also run it on solar as well sometimes. So that's going to be a lot less in the summer months. Diesel, we actually only spent $27.56, and the diesel is for our diesel heater. That thing is awesome, and yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, once I started seeing the numbers and stuff, I was like, okay, we need to use the diesel heater more.
Right.
Take the load off the propane heater, use the diesel heater more. That will be and has been getting more use.
And it works really well.
Next, we have RV parks. So our goal is to not spend money and time in RV parks. Sorry, the cat's moving the camera. But my dad was already staying in an RV park, so it was convenient and easy. We wanted to spend time with my dad. We were only going to stay 1 week, but we ended up getting sick.
Yeah, I got the plague.
Yeah, we think. I mean, yeah, pretty sure it was the plague, because my dad had it when we got there, and yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Right. So 1 week turned into 2 weeks, and the total we spent for 2 weeks in an RV park was $347.68.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
The cool thing about the RV park, though, is if you're plugged into electricity, you can run the space heaters, and that saves a little bit more on what you spend on propane and diesel. So, pros and cons, right?
Yeah, I mean, we did have water and, electric heat, but even then, like, it was so cold, I don't think electric heaters were making much of a difference.
Right.
But,
RV extras. This is stuff that we didn't necessarily need for the RV, but we bought anyway. And we spent $85.32 on that, and that was the shower head we bought. What was that shower head called?
The oxygenic shower head.
Yeah.
And I honestly can't remember.
Gosh, what was that other thing? Oh, do we put the Brita? No, that was on something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we just put that in groceries.
Okay, and yeah, on the groceries we also bought a Brita filter. I'm trying to think of what the other $41.32 is. Dang it. See, we usually put little notes next to stuff. We bought the sealant tape for around the doors to keep it warmer.
Yeah. Oh, we found on clearance at Walmart one of those inline water filters.
Oh, yeah.
A 2-pack for the price of like one, so.
We bought those because those last for 6 months, so now we're good for a year and a half. That's awesome.
Stuff like that. I'm sure there was some other small things, but it's like stuff that we could have done without, but
right, but
we found a deal and it was worth getting.
We couldn't resist.
Yeah. Next in the category is laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, luckily at the RV park was our main place that we were there for a long time, and it was kind of a honor system kind of laundromat. We only spent $10 on laundry.
Right.
And the rest of the time was either waiting it out to get to family and just doing laundry at our family. So
right.
It's worked out pretty good. I mean, $10 for a month of laundry, that's fine.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Come on, sweetie. And we did actually purchase a scrubba. I haven't used it yet, but I am going to use it soon. I think in the summer months it'll be a lot nicer. So if you guys want to see a video on that, let us know and we'll do a video on that.
Yeah, you can't really use a scrubba and clothes dry outside whenever it's 20 degrees.
In the winter, you just have like frozen shirts.
Right.
On the dumps, we spent $32.50 on the dumps.
Necessary evil.
Necessary evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did kind of find that national park or state parks are a lot cheaper than Love's or Flying J, even with their Good Sam discount. So if we're already stopping at a state park or something, never hurts to just ask if you can use the dump. It's like $5.
$5 in comparison to like $7.50 to $10. So
right.
What are you doing? You are so crazy.
I mean, there is a convenience of, there's Flying J's and Loves all over the place, but I mean, I wouldn't even do it unless we had to, kind of thing.
Right.
Alright, so next is snacks. These are things that we could have went without, but we couldn't help our urges and bought anyways. So usually it was, a soda pop here, or like
a Reese's there.
Or
it adds up.
Beef jerky, just those typical truck stop munchies.
Coffee. Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It was $71.90 on snacks, which was like, oh, I thought we were doing good.
I thought we were doing good too. In retrospect, it's kind of a lot because if you look, we only spent $27 on diesel and we only spent $32 on the dump. So we spent more on snacks than we spent in both of those categories combined. So it's kind of a lot.
Yeah, those truck stops will get you.
Oh my gosh, that is something we might need to work on. But occasionally you just need, maybe we should make a budget for that in the future. Like, this is how much we can spend, possibly.
I mean, a lot of it was stuff that we could have done without, and we consciously were like, we don't need this.
We knew what we were doing.
There was one day we spent almost $30 because, like, I think it was a long day on the road, and I was craving protein, so I bought like a 4-pack of boiled eggs and some beef jerky.
I told him to buy that beef jerky because he hadn't had good beef jerky in a while, and it's like $17 for that stuff at the truck stop.
Yeah, and we're like 2 weeks later and I'm still eating the beef
Yeah.
jerky. So,
But serious question though, for people that have been RVing for a while, how do you avoid those urges at the truck stops? Do you just not go in? Like, what do you do? Let us know. We could use your help. Our next category is clothes, and we spent $71.21 on this. We don't really need a lot of clothes. We have pretty much what we need, but Luke did need a good winter jacket. That was $50 that we spent on that. What did we buy? I think your hat was like $7.50 on clearance.
oh yeah.
And then he needed some winter gloves as well,
Oh,
and those
yeah,
were
gloves,
$14.
yeah.
So that's stuff that will last us for years, but he needed that.
Yeah. Now we're kind of getting into some more of the just regular monthly bills and stuff like that, but we're including that as well. So for our phone, we're on Mint Mobile with unlimited data. We pay about $80 a month
Yeah.
for that. So
And that's for both of our phones.
yeah, that's really not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal at all.
We are limited on like hotspot data, only 5 gigabytes per phone, which we used up really quick. But we'll find ways to work around that, and we're looking into possibly getting a more reliable internet source in the future. But for now, it's okay. You know, we knew we were headed to family and gonna be stopping a lot, so
Yeah.
making it do.
For now, what we do with our YouTube videos is we just film a lot, and then we try to upload them whenever we have internet access and make sure that we don't miss a date for you guys. So the next category is cats, and cats are so easy, you guys. If you're looking for a great pet that is just low maintenance, get a cat, because we only spent $23 on the cats and they're happy. I think it was $12 for a bag of food and $11 for their litter, and they're good to go.
Yep. Cats were not expensive at all.
Nope.
And we got 3, so
Yeah.
that's less than $10 a day or a month for
Yeah.
the cats. Like, I wish I was that cheap. Another monthly recurring bill would be insurance. We have Progressive full-timers insurance, and that was $99.82. We did pay for a whole year in advance, so we're just breaking it down monthly. It definitely get a better deal if you pay a year in advance. So don't think that you're going to get that price if you pay monthly.
And if you all would like to see a video about the type of insurance we have, we can tell you a little bit more about it. We thought it was a really good deal.
Yeah, it seems cool. I've seen it a lot in the forums and stuff, and like, as far as I know, they're about the only ones out there that offer like a full-timer RV insurance. So
So that's pretty neat. Next category, RV payment. So we did not buy our RV outright. We were ready to get on the road, and our RV payment is $363.25 a month, which is way cheaper than renting. So
yeah, I mean, ideally we would have preferred to have done this without having a monthly payment, but still, when you're looking at renting a house and all those other expenses, I think we're coming out pretty good. It gives us a low bar of like what we need to make monthly to break even.
exactly. And if we would have bought it all at once, we would have just demolished our savings. So we like to have a little bit of money in the bank.
Yeah, doing this, it's nice to have a little cash cushion just in case something happens.
Definitely.
Next was hobbies. So, you know, being frugal and stuff like that, but we can't neglect our hobbies, things that make us happy. This stuff includes, let's see, for you, it's some of like the music they use for the YouTube videos with Epidemic of Sound.
Yeah, that's $15 a month.
I bought some software for writing with that I ended up not liking and I'm not using. And that was actually it. So,
Yeah, that's all we spent.
yeah, you know, even the YouTube stuff is stuff that like we could work without it. You know, there's plenty of open source music out there to use, but Epidemic of Sound does have really nice music.
They
nice,
do.
nice stuff.
The next category is health, and we spent $52.15 this last month, and it was because I was sick and we needed medication and we needed tests and a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have health insurance or anything because I'll be honest with you, it's just really expensive. If you know of some good information on healthcare for people that are on the road, let us know. But we're probably not going to be able to afford it right now. Just being real with you.
Yeah, we are flying without health insurance, which sucks, but I haven't had it my whole life, so we'll just swing it.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
This next category is something that we don't like to do ever, but being with family, it happens. So dining out. We only went out to eat twice in the month, and that was both with family. The first time was with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
We spent about $50 with tip included in that. And then the second time was with my second cousin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had bought us dinner the night before, so I offered to pay that time. That was another $53.13, including tip. So total and dining out, we spent $103.13, which sometimes you just have to pay, you know? Just spend time with family, it's worth it, you know?
It totally is.
But we didn't go out just for us to go eat.
We don't do that.
Yeah, we actually enjoy cooking in our RV.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a problem with it at all yet. Like, she's vegetarian. I'm not a big meat eater, so it's not like we're deep frying stuff in here and making a big mess. It's a lot of pasta and vegetables and frozen burritos.
We like frozen burritos. But it's funny because we've always heard people say, "Oh, don't cook in your RV; it stinks it up." But we haven't had an issue.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what you guys are cooking in your RVs, but
stop. So our next category is entertainment, and we spent $14.99 on YouTube Music or Google, and that's awesome because we don't have ads.
Yeah, it's great to listen to music and watch YouTube videos without ads. It's worth it for me.
It's totally worth it. And we have $13.10, and I believe that was at the brewery. Luke's dad took us out to the brewery and paid for that, and then Luke wanted a drink afterwards that wasn't just bourbon shots, because I'll tell you, that was a lot. I drank them and it was a lot, but got that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, when with family, I mean, there's no point in doing this if you're not going to go and experience things. And sometimes you got to spend a little money.
Yeah,
to
that's
experience
nothing.
something. And after tasting 6 different types of bourbon and not liking any of it, I had to taste something that was somewhat okay.
You don't have to justify your actions. I'm totally behind you. I drank half of it, so.
Right. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up all of our categories. So just to kind of recap here, looking at gas was $828.20.
Groceries was $412.81.
RV maintenance was $570.58.
Propane was $217.43.
Diesel was $27.56.
RV parks $347.68.
RV extras was $85.32.
Laundry was $10.
Dumps were $32.50.
Snacks were $71.90.
Clothes $71.21.
Phone and internet $80.
Cats $23.
Insurance $99.82.
Our RV payment of $363.25.
Our hobbies are $29.37.
Health for $52.15.
Dining out $103.13.
And entertainment for $28.09.
For a grand total of $3,454. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how it added up that quick. Like, $3,454 in a month. Like, where? Like, the biggest expense was what?
Gas.
Yeah, for $828. So even if you rounded that up to $1,000, like, $2 more grand, where'd that go?
Well, groceries and RV, that's another grand right there.
Yeah.
And then all the little stuff adds up.
It does.
Crazy.
It snuck up on us. I remember when we were doing the spreadsheet and we hit like $2 grand. We were like, oh, that was quick. And then like $3 grand was like, dang. So yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. But in fairness, this was our first month, our maiden voyage. I think there's definitely ways we can improve, which number one would be don't spend so much time actually traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to try and spend more time in place and enjoy the place more.
Definitely. I think number two would just be maybe us budgeting a little bit on our snacks and different things that we don't necessarily need. But really, our big expense was gas, like Luke said, and then RV maintenance, which we're not going to have to change the brakes, hopefully, every month, knock on wood.
I expect to at least spend like maybe on average about $150 to $200 a month in RV maintenance. It's, you know, oil changes, you know, just basic maintenance. Like, it's better to budget for it and then not need it than need it and not have budget for it, you know. So
Definitely. And it looks like there were 6 days where we didn't spend anything at all, so that's good.
Yeah, there were 6 days of us not spending, and a few of those days were at the RV park when we just weren't doing anything. So it's easy to not spend money when you're not doing anything.
Just don't leave your RV.
And I think the other couple days there at the end when we were actually, we were actually boondocking. Yeah. So we spent 2 nights in one place, so we didn't spend any money then.
Right.
And then to get to my parents, we didn't spend any money those days. So, but we definitely want to our next leg, wherever we end up going from here, because we're with family now, we're with your sister right now. We're gonna try and just maybe spend less time on the road. At least stop for 2 nights at places, because you can't rest just stopping for a night, you know. And
we did that.
and driving, we've been trying to keep it to around 3 to 4 hours of driving a day. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but I mean, for the most part we did all right. There's some days where I'm ready to just get to the next spot, so we stretch it out a little bit, but we're really making sure we don't wear ourselves out on the road.
Right. We don't want to wear ourselves out.
Yeah.
But we are curious to know, what do you all do living on the road? Do you keep spreadsheets? Do you have an app on your phone? What do you do to keep up with how much you're spending? Do you keep up with how much you're spending? I'm sure most of you do. But we're noobs, so tell us your tips and tricks. We are open to suggestions and improvement. We could definitely use the help, and we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we use Gas App quite a bit. Our Good Sam,
Gas Buddy.
Yeah, our Gas Buddy. Good Sam's gas discount at like Love's and stuff is really not worth it unless you have no other choice. Or it's at Flying J, right?
Yeah.
I mean, then you're not really saving anything if you can just drive another mile into town and get gas for the same price or cheaper.
I like Gas Buddy.
Yeah. Walmart Murphy gas stations were some of our best gas prices. Like, that worked out really well. And then if you sign up for their thing, you get another 3 cents off per gallon or whatever. And we did start using a different credit card just for gas, which will give us cash back too on that. So we're hoping that'll help, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, we're just trying to learn all the tips and tricks. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, and hopefully you all will share some of that stuff with us.
Yeah, the more we know, the better, and we'll share everything we learn with you guys too.
Yeah.
So far, so good, you guys.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you guys watching, and if you learned anything from this video, or you have anything that we could learn from you, let us know, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Do the thing.
Oh, God, you scared me. Gosh. I didn't know you were going to do that.